and Frankfurt, as chance had it, we did nothing of interest. Cleveland, I stagger through your streets like I am trying to get as far away from this as I can. We arrived late in Paris, where we had headaches and sex and oranges. How arbitrary. I feel like a cupcake. What is the plan? What do you mean, genuine? Let's rent an apartment in Helsinki and sell lemonade to beautiful girls. Let's read Swedenborg and ride jet skis under the bridges of Amsterdam. At the last second, we are invited to a house party in Chicago where we learn it is not possible to pour an entire bottle of wine into a violin. It's true, in Melbourne, we made terrific asses of ourselves. Sao Paulo was hot. We liked it very much. In Bruges, our souls became great works of art as we fell asleep on the grass. In Hong Kong, we spoke into the ear of oblivion and wept in golden chairs. Tulips grew in the gutters of Beirut. We drank coffee and believed everything was worth saying at least once, like in Jerusalem when the girl said, "Have you ever played tennis in Albuquerque? You look so familiar." Or when we met an old man by the pinball machines of Guadalajara who said, "I am the owner of a red car in the future." In Auckland, I discovered a cup of tea, and we laughed at him and asked him to add some lines to this poem. He wrote the ones about Frankfurt, Sao Paulo, and Brussels, and might have written the one for Reykjavik, but no one is quite certain or cares. Oh, sweet St. Petersburg, where I eat tomatoes and create inexplicable machines in praise of accidents and laughter. In Dakar, we sell cantaloupe and are not sarcastic. We are unemotional in Istanbul. We open the dictionary, rescuing flowers in Denver, and suddenly we are starring at ourselves. Oh, never-ending stream of amusements. My zipper is broken. A kiss in Winnipeg. What a tremendous time we're having. In many ways, I am not a rabbit or a spool of ribbon, and that is important because it is amazing. How wrong it would be to say, "I am going skiing," or "Do you want to share this cantaloupe?" when you mean, "Let's do something incredible." It is not about being specific. It is about opening up your genius mouth and decorating what comes out in all sorts of felt and vapor and astonishment. My friends know this and are always unlocking the garden where I sit in my naked wreckage. I have hidden an amp in the hawthorn. There is a jackhammer in the begonias. You can use it anytime you like. What a tremendous time we're having. Take off that ridiculous hat and tell me you love me, is what I want to say, but my tongue is not so evolved. My tongue rides a hobby horse in a big wet parlor. It acts like a baby in a castle dragging one miraculous oar. And while you get smaller and smaller on the lip of the ocean, stuffing sand dollars in your fanny pack, all I can do is push my stupid tongue back into its stupid airport and lay down in the tide where all the little crabs take apart my teeth the way their parents taught them, and their parents said some more things. I said, my mask is 1,000 roses. I was a red shipwreck carrying balloons, I said. My party dress is in the style of the late Queen. My front legs are tenacious, I said. There is a perceivable wine in my child bones. My dad was glowing too. He said, we have to modify our coffee program. My glowing mom said, I'm going to Italy. These things seemed important. But why was I here? Why did I have all these things inside me with no river to put them in? It was just me with all these new things. Not alone, but kind of. Every night, mauling myself to sleep. A basic guide to history. The people put everything they had into the machine. Patio furniture, bleach, symphonies. The people needed a story. That's why they built the machine. The machine ate the blessings of the people and infected them and divided them into quadrants. One quadrant was called the Island of Vague Agendas. Another was called the Bureau of Choreographed Screaming. And another was called the Central Intelligence Agency. The people did not understand how the machine distinguished between blessings or how it generated quadrants, but it appeared logical and moral, and such appearances were important to the people. Some people opposed the story generated by the machine, but the discourse of the machine made the people numb, and at night their fingerprints would burn and itch, and so they ceased speaking of the machine. On it went, the people feeding the machine, magnolia trees and foreclosed houses, and the proletariat, and the machine dragging the torso of experience through its thresher, infecting it, manipulating it into quadrants, deleting as it wished. Once some people filmed the machine, and when they watched the tape, they saw that the machine was transparent, that they could see inside of it, and this made the machine obsolete. The machine was not real,